that shit.
Welcome to Trash Talk MMA.
Smile on my face, behind my back, they talk trash.
The #1 podcast for news and insight that matters in the world of mixed martial arts.
I don't want to hear it.
Brought to you live and unfiltered from all four corners of the globe
That's what you said.
by MMA aficionado Antoine Peltier.
Yo, welcome to the Trash Talk MMA podcast. I'm your host, Antoine Peltier, and today I have two special guests on the show, fighting out of Phuket top team, Rob Lisita and Josh Major Payne. What's going on? Ruthless Rob Lisita.
Ruthless.
Get those nicknames in there, man. What's going
Bobby
on, guys?
Bart, the White Tyson. AKA the White Sonny Chiba.
The White Tyson.
Yeah, man, I got that yesterday.
From who?
We had a photo. I've said it before, but we took a photo after training, after sparring.
Okay.
And some English dude commented, man, that guy on the right looks like a White Tyson. And then my training partner said, yeah, man, and he hits like him too, bro. And I looked at my wife and said, damn, yeah, that's White Tyson. Sounds about right. But don't forget Bobby Bart. You know who started following me yesterday on Instagram, boys? See, Bobby Bart, that's Bobby Bart.
How'd you get that name?
word. All right, I got a whole bunch of Bart after I fought.
Yeah.
And I go, man, they call Floyd Money May. They should call me Bobby Bart.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, baht is the currency in Thailand.
Bart is the
It's from all
currency
over
in
the place.
Thailand. My name's Robert, you know, and a train like Bobby is another way
like
of saying
RZA
it.
and Bobby Digital.
So I said Bobby Bart, and I started getting followed yesterday by the Hawaiian Bobby Bart, the White Sonny Chiba. I mean, and I was like, wow, man, that's pretty cool. Like, this guy stole my identity. Like, that's pretty awesome. Because there's only one Bobby Bart in the world, so he must be, you know, he must be following me and getting inspiration by me before he leaves the door. And
he said,
that's awesome, man. I get inspiration from fighters and.
So you two go way back, right?
Way back, years, man. Like, we trained together in Australia.
Okay.
Years and years ago.
I met him when he had one fight on another show, you know, when he fought Glenn Taylor, and then after that he fought on late notice on CFC, which was a organisation my trainer would run.
Okay.
And it was the biggest promotion in Australia.
Yeah, at that stage it was the biggest promotion, and I wasn't fighting that time. I think I got injured or sick or something, and I was helping out the back, and just like he was just chilled, you know, just relaxed, sort of like my style, like just. Yeah, I'm going to fight. Yeah, no worries.
About to fight on.
Do you need anything? Do you know? No, I'm alright. I'm alright.
Was about to fight the top, like he was like number
was it,
3.
Was you fucking
welterweight.
Hardly wrapped your hands.
Yeah,
I
didn't.
I'm like, you gonna wrap your hands? No, I'm alright.
Unnecessary.
And then he went out.
Leather nuts.
They say Hawaiian said just scrap, and me and Josh say just punch on.
Yeah,
that's
just
our
punch on.
saying.
Now, you guys have also invented another local term. Isn't you guys that came up with the soy dogs thing?
So
yeah, that's right.
So you got tapped for it? Do you have one too?
His is on the back.
All right. So what does soy dogs represent?
Well, I don't know, man. Like a while ago, I think Boyd hashtagged it or something.
Okay.
And I don't know, because I would have had to. I seen it somewhere. I know that, and then it just ingrained in my head, I guess. And then they were shooting for that Phuket Dreamin' series. And then while I was running, they were filming me, and I was talking shit while I was running. And then I was running with rats, running with soy dogs. And then after they called the episode "Running with Soy Dogs," in that episode, I spoke a lot about sort of why I'm here in Thailand and why I'm not in Australia and the opportunities I got in Asia. And I've been speaking to Josh for a long time, and he goes, man, I watched that. After watching that, I said, fuck it.
That was like the final inspiration.
Yeah.
You know? So we were out here and we were with a friend at a tattoo shop, one of my sponsors, Celebrity Ink, the best tattooist in Asia. And
Whoop, whoop.
whoop whoop. And they go, do you want a tattoo? Yeah, I was awesome too, if you want bamboo. And they go, you want a tattoo, boys? Like a friend of ours said, you want a tattoo? And then after I said, yeah. And then what should we get? And then after he goes, what about soy dogs? And I was like, man, if you want it.
Yeah, because I was thinking like soy kings, like Latin kings, you know what I mean?
So
like
for people who don't know, again, just like the bot thing, soy means street here.
Soy means street.
Street, alley.
Street
and what's crazy is there is a whole bunch. We were just talking about them before. There's all these fucking stray dogs all over the place, man.
Dogs.
And they're all haggard and mangy.
And he had to put it, you know, when I sent that
It's
message,
crazy.
they're like nice to you. They're nice to you if you're nice to them. if you're bad to them, they'll probably be a bit of a cunt to you, and chances are they'll take anything that's not bolted down.
I would tell you, man, I went to Moscow 10 years ago, and I was staying kind of outside of the center part of the city, and I remember walking with a buddy through this field of grass, and all of a sudden we saw movement in the grass, and there was a whole pack of rotten dogs. I swear these things look like Resident Evil dogs.
Oh, with like crusty bits and
like,
shit.
you know, the cheeks all jumped out, and they all had like 75 nipples dripping off the bottom.
What the hell?
Oh, there's one out there.
And we're sitting there
Like
hauling our luggage through this friggin', I don't even know why there was a big bunch of grass in the middle of this in the town like that. We're looking for a hotel. And I swear we started getting followed by a pack of dogs. And then I started asking people, like, what's up with these dogs? Somebody needs to kill these things. And they're like, dude, you don't even understand. Somebody did a documentary on these dogs in Moscow. They actually know how to get on and use the metro. They know how to use the fucking metro in Moscow. And these dogs, they know where to go for feeding sessions in different parts of town, and they'll walk into them. Can you imagine you're in the metro and a pack of Resident Evil dogs show up, and you're like...
Even some of the Thai soy dogs, they're quite smart, dude. Like,
but you don't want to get bitten by these things, man.
I would never have believed that until I came here, because here, man, you go to 7-Eleven, and in the middle of the 7-Eleven is a dog just laying down.
Yeah.
And you just step over him, and everyone just leaves him be in the middle of the walkway.
That's what's good about here, right?
Yeah,
there's no like set rules, you know.
Man.
People go, oh, I'll help you out now, you know. Like, I'll do this.
But I
Or
think
whatever,
it's the gift and the curse, you know. It's
is
like
the gift and the
I personally despise hyper over-regulated Western society, you know. Like here, you just want a scooter, you just give a bunch of money, and you leave with a scooter.
Yeah.
There's
no license.
You don't have to sit there and bicker about it, fill out 30 forms and everything. But then at the same time, if you get hit by a car on your scooter, good luck.
Well, it's up to you. That's
up
right.
to you, yeah.
You know,
up to
so
you.
it's like
you want to drive like a spastic.
Everything's a coin toss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you're leaving your passport for the scooter, so you know that's kind of like where do they put that?
I see that at least I know where my passport is.
Yeah, at least I know where it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Good old Tony taking care of my passport.
Yeah, but you know what they do? They just stick it in a drawer, dude. They just stick it in a drawer that's locked with the key. You know, where's that key
But
at?
they stick it in the drawer with all their BART too, you know. So if
Yeah.
they're worried about their BART, they're worried about
your
my passport. You know.
Tony's worried about his bar.
So Rob, let's get into why you are here. I mean, there's obviously an MMA scene in Australia. You're both from it. You've both competed there. Why Phuket? I think probably the price of training is a factor. No.
Well, it's a huge factor, of course. Like ever since I started in the game, you know, I kept on traveling and trying to move around and improve myself and trying to find the best fighters out there to train with. I fought for a CFC title, and I was the main event and co-main event, and was actually good old Ray Elby, and he was cornering Moose and Corbry, and then after the fight he invited me to come to Thailand. My dad died a couple of days before the fight, so you know my head was a bit messed up, and I figured, all right, I'm gonna go and get away from it all. And I came out to Thailand, and then the first time I was here, I saw a little bit of the potential to train, but I ended up going to Top Team because Lenny Wheeler and Roger Huerta were there, and I know Lenny good. And then after I went home, and then I thought about it, and I said, look, if you do come here and you do take it seriously, you can use Thailand for the right reasons. Because here, see, back at home, us being fighters, everyone tells us, why don't you go get a real job? Why don't you do something? What are you doing?
Oh, you're an idiot.
You're a knucklehead.
Yeah, that's it. Here
it's
you're an
part of the
athlete.
culture.
You're a sportsman, you're an athlete, and it's a job.
You're an icon. I mean, that's what 70-80% of males probably aspire to in this country.
Right now,
becoming ladyboys or Thai fighters, right?
That's it, exactly right.
Choose your side of the coin, dude.
Right now we're making memories as opposed to making money and doing fuck all with it.
Yep.
And you know, that's it. Like Thailand, back at home, that was the biggest thing for us because we had good training, but it was just us Aussies, and we never knew, man, what happens how good are these international guys?
You need to mix it up.
We never knew. So then when I came out here, I would spar with Americans and Russians and Koreans and Japanese and Brazilians and I got to see, and then high level fighters, UFC fighters and whatever it was, and I realized that wow, I actually can compete with any of these guys, and I can be better than any of these guys, and it was good. So here, like the opportunity, if you want to train 6 hours a day, which is, I don't recommend it for anyone, but if you want to, you can. Back at home, we're lucky to train an hour in the evening.
Well, too many distractions to it.
It's a public class, you've got to work.
He had to travel, like,
I've got to travel 50 k's each way.
Sydney. He was travelling half of Sydney.
I mean, there's just this whole ecosystem where we're at here.
That's right, that's right. 20 seconds from training, lazy, you know, but if I get to training, I'll work, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm in Thailand, and why I've stayed is because I won fights, you know. I should have been pretty much 8-0 at featherweight before my last 2 fights, but they gave Kawanago the decision when we fought for the Legend FC belt, and then I rematched him and knocked him out in 28 seconds. And so it's a good thing being in Thailand, and then especially when my friends come over and stuff like that, you know, that makes it better. I mean, like, but you know, Thailand's cool, man. Like, I like Thailand and Thai culture and Thai people too.
I think Thailand actually boosted my confidence. Like he says, you know, like we always train together, but you never really know how you'd go against other guys, you know.
You know, and that's an interesting thing that we can even talk on, because, you know, earlier before we were just shooting the shit downstairs, but we talked about, you know, how, for example, like the Japanese struggle in the UFC. And these are, you know, the Japanese have been fighting MMA since the dawn of time.
They're generally my favourite fighters.
You know, and there's a lot of good favorite fighters. But, I mean, I think it's a testament to how people's games are just elevating super quick. And you get the advantage that these American fighters have is that wrestling, man, that collegiate wrestling and the weight cutting. I mean, how do you guys deal with that in Australia?
Man, I'm probably, I don't know.
Because you've dropped 3 weight classes.
Yeah,
you used to be a welterweight.
Yeah, I fought at welterweight.
He's a bit of a weight loss magician.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a Gleason T-Bow, you know, in the sense that all these Americans that cut all this weight, I think I cut just as much. See, people don't take into consideration the things. They say that it's an excuse, but people say when you travel from the time zones from America to Japan,
which
the
way,
jet
like
lag
from
is
west
not so
to
bad.
east?
Yeah, from west to east. But if you travel from east to west, when you get to America, you can't get over the jet lag in a week. It takes a lot more time. So that's why those fighters that were coming from over there probably didn't perform. Because you look at the Japanese fighters that fight in Japan on the UFC Japan cards, and they look fantastic. Do you know what I mean? And then you put into consideration just what you said, the weight cutting. And if someone doesn't have a good weight cut, or if they don't rehydrate properly, man, they're a shell of themselves.
And they're still struggling with jet lag or whatever.
Yeah, they're a shell of themselves. Like, they go out there and they say, oh yeah, he dropped the weight class, but that guy would have touched him up even if he didn't. Like, happens a lot in boxing when the A side fighter will say, like, you know, he'll want someone to come down in weight who's got a title, and that guy gets beat, and they go, it doesn't matter if he fought him at 140 pounds, he would have smashed him. Yeah. But the truth is, the guy that came down and cut all that weight, he's a shell of himself. You know, like, I mean, one that everyone will know, but that wouldn't have made a difference. But you look at when Oscar fought Manny, Oscar probably threw 10 punches in the whole fight. Now I know that's because every time he threw a jab, Manny would overhand left and counter him. But he was just walking around like a human punching bag. And Freddie Roach said he saw blood coming out of his vein when they were given the instructions in between, as if he just got off a drip.
Like an IV drip?
Off an IV backstage before he fought. So how much IVs was he doing? I don't fucking know. That's craziness to me. Because wouldn't you do the IV straight after you've made weight?
Yeah, so and you think by then guys of that caliber would have the technology locked down, right?
You know, exactly, you know what I mean? Like,
they're not entry-level fighters, right?
That's it. Like, I bet you think Floyd, with all that money, man, Floyd's taking shit. Floyd's on those HGHs and those testosterone creams, and man, he's ahead of the curve. If he can spend, if you got $100 million, you got scientists that are making your own fucking things. You look at Floyd's body; he's chacked all year round. He's ripped all year round. Now, Manny, you know, he's just probably come up to that stage where they know how to beat it now. Case in point, both of them now. Who's working with Floyd? Alex Ariza. Alex Ariza worked with Manny before. Oh my God, he's the guy that was in the Balco scandal with Victor Conti.
Yep.
He knows how to beat the testing. Look, any fighter that's won a world title knows how to do strength and conditioning. He knows how to run. He knows what it takes to get ready for a fight. You don't need to fucking hire some dude that's been on TV that'll tell you run some laps around the block. Alex Ariza is in place so he can pass the test for the fighters.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So Floyd and Manny, and man, power to them. I hope Floyd and Manny come in juiced to the gills so they can give us the best fight possible. But let me just put this on record. If I fought Floyd, I wouldn't do like Conor did. You know, Conor said he'd wrap around him like a boa constrictor. Anyway, Conor, I'll grab him by his ponytail and I'll bite his nose off. He just talks shit and he dresses shit and he tries to dress like Floyd. Man, go find Floyd's, Taylor, and start dressing like him, and then you'll start looking good, you know what I mean? People died far out. Yeah, they died because of how shit it was, mate, his suit. But anyway, if I fought Floyd, you know what I'd do? I'd keep the range, I'd jab, I'd shoulder roll, and I'd slip and I'd counter him, and I'd win on points. All day, unanimous. If I fought Manny, I'd hit those angles and I'd be in and out with speed, combinations, power punching, and I would knock Manny out. So I would win on points against Floyd in a unanimous decision, and I would knock Manny out. And Conor would tap out due to strikes, the most bitch-ass move to do, but he would do it. And he would do it from fucking not even like, hard hammer fist and shit. I'll just be on top of him like flicking, like, giving him the knuckles like Big Brother.
How do you see it going down with Jose Aldo and him? I get this question every friggin' day from somebody. It was, you're doing you got your I swear to God, we're out here every day and we get that. And somebody asked me that friggin' question.
The word McGregor is mentioned every day.
That's it, McGregor. But what about, that's what burns my life. Because Jose Aldo cleaned out the division. He's the one and only featherweight champ.
He's been like
he beat the number one dude after the number one dude, right?
Right.
He beat them all. He won hard fought fights and he finished some dudes, And then after, they don't even talk about him. They talk about him like he's McGregor's opponent. See, that's why Conor shouldn't be called Conor McGregor. He should be called Conor Fertitta. Because he's the only fighter that gets the suite, and the guy that's in the main event is in a shitty hotel room like the rest of us fighters. He just does it because he makes some money, you know what I mean? I don't know. But see, if more than Irish fans are behind him, so be it. But it's so weird. That just goes to show. It just hit me right now. The world is fucking racist. Because Conor McGregor is white and talks shit.
So, and
he's the best thing in the world. And Floyd Mayweather is black and talks shit. And he's a piece of shit human being.
But he's the best boxer in the world.
47-0. He's won 26 world titles. He's been the pound for pound champ. The clear undisputed Ring Magazine champ in 4 different weight classes.
Right.
He was exactly where he is now when I first started buying magazines and thinking about training and wanting to be a world champion and all that shit.
So what happens with him and Manny then?
Him and Manny, Manny going to try and land that overhand left. Manny's going to try to get around him, get around that shoulder roll, get on Floyd's left side. And Manny can do it. He's got the speed to do it. Floyd's got that counter right hand. But when Manny throws that left hook, Floyd's got that check hook, So, see, for me, they're two of my favorites, man.
It's funny, because there's a lot of people that think it's just too late because of Pacquiao's losses. But are you guys happy that this fight is happening? That it's happening now?
This is like the greatest boxing fight.
Man,
I'm telling you, not everybody has that opinion. There's a bunch of people who don't give a goddamn.
That's
crazy.
so weird.
I don't understand that. Because
I don't either.
Well, like I said,
the best ever.
They're both cleaned out. Like they're both of them. Henry Armstrong, some other dude. They're the only guys that in 4 different weight classes, because they say out of 18 weight classes, there's like 120 world titles. So they say the alphabet belts. These are the only 4 or 5 dudes have done it. pound, like being the Ring magazine. So they cleaned out 3 belts, being the linear champ.
Yeah.
And Manny and Floyd are 2 of those. If Manny beats Floyd, he becomes the first and only to do it in 5 weight classes. Now, if Floyd beats him, he'll become 48-0. He's got 1 fight left in September. He can fight a bum and he'll equal Rocky Marciano's record. And then he'll come out of retirement and he'll fight another bum and he'll beat his record. Why won't he? He deserves it, you know what I mean? But see, Floyd hasn't lost since. Floyd kept beating whoever they wanted him to beat. Do you know what I mean? Like, see, it's funny because they say, oh, see, I'm starting to like Floyd more and more and more. Before, I was just Manny, because, you know, to be good at fighting, you need a good offense. But if you want to be great, you need good defense. Do you know what I mean?
And Manny
is the example of offense. You know, he's the ultimate offense. So he'll just attack. He gets hit with his big head and he just walks through. Like Miguel Cotto hit so hard and he hit him clean. Like so many, like, man, if you watch the fight, and Manny just like it was nothing, and then would just run through him and hit Cotto and knock him down and wreck him. You know what I mean? Like Manny is a steam train in that sense. Floyd hasn't really been shown that he can bust a great. Now that's why he gets his criticism. Like, why doesn't he finish guys? Well, it's not his fault that he doesn't have that punching power.
I'm sure he would like to.
So, I mean, do you guys feel like punching power is innate or is it something you can develop?
You can develop it to a degree, but...
It's innate. Yeah. It's innate because...
There's a lot of schools of thought on this.
Because, you know, if there is a way to develop it, we just don't know it properly. It's just not worldwide. Because when you go out there and lift weights, you slow yourself down. The power is mass times speed. So if you get more mass, you lose the speed. And then then maybe you might have power for 1 punch, but then it takes more blood to fill that muscle to feed it, and you're gassed. So then you slow after 2 punches. So, you know, but power is something that's like God-given in a sense, because now I don't know if this is, you know, I've seen Conor McGregor hit it. I've seen a lot of famous fighters hit it, and I've hit it, and Josh has hit it, and it's, you know, those punching machines.
Yeah, down in like Bangor Road and the Tiger Bar. Yeah.
Well, so the
every top score
in all of them has been me, and like other guys will come and hit it. They see, and Josh is there, right there, man. See, and it's a weird thing because other guys will come and hit it, and they're like, man, they like someone gets over 900. And they're like jumping around, hugging each other like it's Rocky 3, like they just fucking, like they just won. You know what I mean? Like, and then I walk over and I hit it, and I get 997 and shit. Like scores that fucking these guys don't even know exist. You know what I mean? And Josh does the same. He gets those 99s and shit.
I generally get like 5 less than him or 3 less than him.
But sometimes he keeps his power. It's crazy. So Floyd will probably go and hit it. Man, I don't want to diss on that guy, but we're talking about Phuket Dreaming and the guy that filmed the Genghis Khan.
Yep.
He filmed Miami Hustle before that.
Yeah.
And they were following Jorge Santiago.
I was watching that like crazy.
Yeah, that was a mad inspiration for us to watch that. So I guess I'm glad that guys watch our stuff and get inspired to go train.
Yep.
Just like when I watched that. And there was this one episode that they ended up asking him to take it out, and then it's like, I think it was Black Zillions asked him, and they were hitting the puncher machine, and Jorge was hitting it with Jorge Masvidal was hitting it with his strength and conditioning coach that won Carlos, and who seems like a beast.
The guy they just G up each other.
Yeah, they G up each other, and then Jay-Z Cavalcante was hitting it, and man, Jay-Z was getting like 500s and shit. And Jay-Z was talking mad shit before they started. You know what I mean? Like, and then Jay-Z was like, he couldn't understand why. And it's just a weird thing, because I've seen him knock dudes out.
Yeah.
Heaps good.
That's what I thought.
I've seen him knock dudes out.
But here you're dealing with a static target, okay? And it might not be at an angle that he's comfortable and able to throw his power at, right?
Yeah.
And whereas in a fight, you got all sorts of different angles, different momentum, people leaning in, leaning out, lurching forward. You know, it's
I don't know how many. But when you go back over, I don't know how many dudes I got to see that I've seen Jay-Z put to sleep. I don't know, maybe he never has. See, like Floyd. Or like he would knock them down because he'll hit them clean while they're off balance or whatever. Then he'll jump on them and he'll hit them 1,000 times and finish the fight. That's Floyd's knockouts.
I mean, what happened to Jay-Z though, man? He had such a great run. He was when they had Dream going, he was good. And then
K1 Heroes.
Yeah,
he was the K1
from
Heroes.
K1 Heroes and into Dream, and then when he entered Dream, he was the man to beat.
Shinya Aoki. If he comes back and he fights Shinya a third time, like, because the first fight he was going well, the second fight his knee was blown out. What happened to Jay-Z? My friend tells me is after he got that knee surgery a few years ago, and then they got a guy that tried to rehab it, and he was getting him doing fucking CrossFit shit or like Olympic lifts and shit that's going like it just made his knee worse and it made him worse. So like
that
I think if Jay-Z,
you gotta watch out for that, man.
Yeah, man.
You need to know what you're doing. Like,
man, I don't want to go in about that. It is what it is. Like look, if you want to talk, I do CrossFit nearly every day. If you consider CrossFit a circuit. See, as a fighter, we shouldn't be doing one exercise for too long or whatever, unless it's punching or kicking or wrestling. But if it's any sort of weights, it'd be like change, so you can do a cardio workout at the same time you're doing your weights. But that's Jay-Z. I think he can sign because he was with World Series, he didn't do that great. If he signs with One FC, comes back, reinvigorates, because he's got the skills, got the talent. That was the thing. Maybe he knew more than dudes knew back then, because he knew he was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He had good stand-up, he had good wrestling.
Every part of him was pretty classy.
He's a well-rounded fighter, so that's probably why. And then now that everyone's MMA fighters, well-rounded fighters, that's probably closed the gap and made it different too. But I mean, he lost against Josh Thomson in Strikeforce, but he won that fight. He got robbed. And to beat Josh Thomson, that's pretty good.
Oh, dude, I'm a huge Josh Thomson fan. He's a great fighter. The most slept on, underrated 5-round title fight that ended in a decision was his second fight with Gilbert Melendez.
Man.
I don't know if you guys remember that. They beat the earth, wind, and fire each other from pillar to post. And in the last 10 seconds, they were throwing flurries at each other like it was the first 10 seconds of the fight. That solidified me. Like, those two guys have gas tanks for days, chins for days, knockdown power. That's crazy, a fantastic fight. Anybody who's listening to this hasn't watched that, find it. Gilbert Melendez, Josh Thomson too.
I've seen highlights, so I should probably...
Oh, dude, you have to watch the whole thing because it's the most relentless slobber knocker 25-minute title fight of all time.
Awesome. Stand up
at that in lightweight, I'm not
sharing takedowns.
It was an MMA fight from hell.
Bro, Gilbert Melendez used to be one of my favorite fighters, and then after he fought Diego Sanchez, and they're both fucking, bro. Look, dude. See, no, I'm going the other way. That fight is like retard fight. That fight is two guys throwing slaps at each other. Like how many punches? Except for when Diego Sanchez uppercutted Gilbert with an uppercut, and the rest of the punches were pretty much fucking slaps. And the way for Gilbert to counteract...
Leonard Garcia style, dude.
But Leonard Garcia
he throws
bombs, man.
He pitches
bombs.
Because Diego Sanchez
starts swimming, and if I just start swimming, and he swims, and then Gilbert Melendez was swimming back, and they were like doing that, and that's why Gilbert won. But he's a way better fighter than him. But then after that fight, every fight Gil fights, when he strikes, he comes in with slaps. Like, it was a weird thing, man. Like, I hope he goes back to...
Fighters' dynamics change,
right? Man, when he fought Kawajiri and when he fought, Josh Thomson...
His fight against Kawajiri was...
Bro, his jab was good and crisp, and he had a right
elbows
hand.
On the ground.
Bro, everything. The wrestling was on point.
Was that on Strikeforce?
Yeah, bro. See, that's... I hope he doesn't, And if Diego hears this... Sorry, you got a massive heart and a massive gas tank, but you're fucking unco fighter.
No, I think
striking is like...
Where he was tight is when he knocked out Joe Riggs. Hit him with a punch and a
I can't even believe
backed him up and blasted him with the knee.
But see...
I don't understand.
That was just that was just awesomeness. As in, he clipped him, and then he started running at him, and in the process of running at him, you know what I mean? He realised Joe Riggs was too close to him, that he lifted his knee and he hit him with the knee. Like, I mean, it wasn't like when Anderson Silva kneed Chael Sonnen or on the ground. Like, it was, I mean, like, it was, you know what I'm saying? It was like he almost ran past him, kneed him on the way past him. I mean, you know, anyway.
But I mean, since then, when has he had a highlight reel like that where he's actually causing damage? I mean, it's been 10 fights ago. Yeah, Clay Guida.
Let me fight Clay Guida, piece of shit. He makes an effort to burp in between rounds. Yeah. Like it's something fucking funny.
I thought only Tim Sylvia did that shit.
He blows his nose on his opponents and shit. Like he's grubby, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
he's grubby?
Yeah, he's grubby.
Is that an Australian term?
He's grubby, a grub.
Grimy?
He's a fucking grub.
You're a fucking grub.
A slob. We'd say just a slob.
It's, like dirty fucking...
I just
dissed him. It can be different
I just dissed him in like 5 different ways. Like, holy shit. Like, the worst grub is like a pedophile. Like, that's that pedophile grub. Like, nah, sorry, man. Nah, he's a grub as in that. As in
like footy grub.
Dirty grub.
You're a grub.
He's dirty.
But he's a bit more, like unhygienic.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Unhygienic. Yeah. Who was it? I think it was it Gray Maynard that made him tie his hair back?
Yeah. And he killed his life. He hated it. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's ridiculous. Even when you see Benson Henderson fighting with his hair, like, dude, don't you have enough to take care of in the cage, and you're fighting your fucking hair?
Man, what do you mean? That's part of his tactic. What he does is this. He throws a big leg kick because he's got massive legs and he makes the dude's legs move. Then he throws the right jab because it's southpaw that doesn't land, and then he brushes his hair and he just scored a point. Like you know, like as if every time Ben Henderson, an exchange happens, boom, he steps back. And he combs his hair back behind his ears. Yeah, like it's and the judges tick a point to Ben Henderson. Like he cheats. Like that's why they say, why does Ben Henderson win all these decisions that he shouldn't win in that? Because he's got long hair and he fucking brushes his hair like...
But see, I find that when guys with long hair, they get hit, it exaggerates the look because their hair flies up and you get all the friggin' sweat flying off in all the directions. Like when Guida gets hit, it looks like he's taking massive damage.
Man, but it's like as if that's what gives him his chin. Do you know what I mean?
Samson.
Well, you think, or if I grew my hair really long, right? Then if guys got the rear naked choke on me, I could just like slip out because they would be caught with the hair.
Well, when
like my hair would make it like, do you know what I mean? And I never get choked. I think I should do it, man.
Go Steven Seagal
I'm sick of being fucking rear naked choked.
So
the only way to kill a lion.
That's a good segue.
They say mata leon. The only way to kill a fucking lion is to choke it. I'm a fucking lion. You know, at least.
Okay, but that's a good segue. You had a couple losses by RNC. You got your next fight coming up in 1FC on May 22nd. What's going to go down there? Let's talk about your opponent.
I'm fighting
Timofey Nastyukhin.
Nastyukhin.
Hi, Yukin.
Oh, Yukin. He did it. No, man. All right. He won his last fight by Tiger Knee. Yep. You know, if you know Saget, he went Tiger Knee, and he kneed him, and then he soccer kicked him in the head a couple of times, and he won. So he's coming off a win, and like
he's on an 8-fight win streak.
He's on an 8-fight win streak, and then he lost he lost a couple of years ago and didn't fight for a bit. So he's a tough kid, tough Russian. Do you know what I mean? And it's like Rocky 4. And it's like, you know, I'm going to fight Drago.
Do you see some holes in his game?
Yeah. Look, he's got okay kicks, he'll throw a strong right, he's got a decent hook, and he's won by triangle. You know, his wrestling ain't the best.
But the Russians, they seem to inherently have a
scramble.
They're good with the scrambles
too. And so, you know, but, you know, well, like as far as holes, he's clean. That's his hole. He's clean, and I'm fucking dirty, and I'm making a dogfight. You know what I mean? And
so you want to turn this into a brawl fast then?
It always will be if I fight. You know,
but you're both like that, right?
Yeah, if I fight, it always will be.
I don't intend on doing that. I'm not sure if he does, but
that's just the instinct taking over.
Well, it's weird because we sort of do that. I sort of do that in sparring, and so does Josh. But when I'm getting paid to fight, I feel like if I take a backward step, like I'm stealing money from the crowd, like almost. Like I feel like every second I'm not fighting, I'm not doing my job. And that's a dumb thing. Like that's the thing. Like after 23 fights, I'm still trying to get used to too. You know what I mean? Because see, I'm not dumb too. You know, I'm gonna fight this fight, and I hope to put on the best performance of my life. Because you know, I'm not dumb. I know any counter fighter, he likes a guy that throws punches and kicks.
Yep.
So he has the chance to counter. You know, and he sits there and he's one of those fighters that will fight at range and stuff like that, you know? And he's good at range, but I'll get my range. And I'm really good at closing that distance. Oh, I forgot about that. Another AK of mine, the White Pac-Man. You know, so at the end of the day,
White Tyson and White Pac-Man.
Man, Tyson and Pac-Man have a very innate ability of being away from someone out of range and then being right in range. And I'm pretty good at being like on one side of the cage and then being in their face quick.
Is that something you've inherently had, or is it something you've worked on?
Yeah, well, it's like I inherently
he's
had
always
it, you know?
been pressure, you know.
I'll
stay
that's
on
what
the
made
punching
me good
range,
at,
but he's always forward, you know, pressing forward.
That's what made me good at rugby league. You know, I could step both way off both feet. You know, I could explode quick, like, you know, off the mark. And I grew up playing rugby league and stuff like that, so I got that athleticism and that explosiveness to close the distance, and I use that to close the distance, you know, so then after I can headbutt the motherfucker a bunch of times and then maybe throw some punches and elbows in between that, you know, do the old Cain Velasquez and headbutt the shit out of them.
So how do you like the One FC as a promotion?
One FC is awesome, man. Like,
you like fighting for them?
I really do. Like, for me, see, as far as...
Do you feel like that's home?
For me, 100%, man. Like, as far as like every promotion I fought for, I felt like it was home, and I always would say that like they're the best because they were the best. I went to them for a reason. Like, if I didn't want to be with them, I would have left and went back to the promotion I was. You know, in One FC, it's a big organization, so you will sign a more longer term contract. So even if I didn't like it, I couldn't get out of it. You know what I mean?
Do you have an exclusive contract with them?
I have an exclusive contract.
For how many fights?
Well, I got this year. At the end of this year, I'll finish the contract, like this contract, and minimum of 3 fights this year. That's in that contract. So I'll fight a minimum of 3 times, and that means I'll be fighting like every couple months after this fight.
Pretty much, yep.
Yeah, so that'll be great. You know, get
years
busy,
flying
back
by,
to work.
man. It's almost May. Isn't that crazy?
The year will just go by.
I felt like it was New Year's like last month.
It was.
That's crazy.
No, but you know what? Some dude said to me at One Connection
5
the other.
months.
We're in Thailand. Another thing, Songkran happens in April.
Yeah.
And Songkran, I guess, is Thailand New Year's.
Yeah.
And some American dude goes to me, "Hey Rob, I was at One Connection with my family," and I said, "Hey bro," and then he said, "Happy New Year," and I said, "What?"
That was me, dude.
What?
That was me. I was having lunch with Joe.
You wearing a Titan singlet?
No.
Titan fitness singlet?
Yeah.
I was sure you were a Titan fitness trainer, bro.
No.
I was like, "There's a Titan fitness trainer." How do I know him, man? But
that was me. I was having coffee with John Priest.
You said it to me.
Yeah.
And I said,
see,
holy shit. And I said to you, I go, are you telling me it's the first day of the year today? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, sweet. So I didn't waste the first fucking 4 months of this year.
That's hilarious. You're telling me the story about this guy who did that. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
That was trippy, man.
How good is that? Holy shit. Well, see? Our new year. We just started, man. We just started the year, bro.
We're like, what?
You know what I'm saying?
4 days in or something.
So you got 7 months to wrap up the year.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. That's what it generally does happen.
3 fights in 7 months.
Now,
if
Josh,
I do that.
Let's talk about what happened because you basically were on like a 3-year hiatus, right? Like, and you just fought what?
Like
2 months ago? No, 6 weeks ago.
It's about a bit over 3 weeks now. 3 weeks?
It's been more than that.
3 weeks
How
or
long
4
have we
weeks?
been in Thailand?
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Yeah,
So it's about a month.
it's been at least a month.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You fought on the 20th.
And it's the 21st, so a month ago, yeah.
Okay, so what kept you out of competition for 3 years?
Basically, I'd lost, like, from about 2 fights before I stopped fighting, I'd lost a lot of motivation, just training and stuff. I couldn't be bothered. And just got sick of the Australian MMA scene, you know what I mean? Like, what he was talking about with running with soy dogs, it's tall poppy syndrome, you know? Like, anytime someone goes high, they try and cut you down, you know? So everyone's sort of got that mentality. Yeah. So I got sick of that and sort of stopped training and stuff, but I still...
So it's crabs in a barrel in Australia than the MMA scene?
And
it's
worse now. Yeah. It's worse now.
No, it's not. Now there's light. See, we were at a time when we were fighting, and we were fighting CFC, and like I said, when I fought for the belt, and it was just me and Josh training, and no one was at the gym, and it was like any other top fighter in Australia.
And this was about that time when I started getting sick.
Yeah, they're the only good fighter in that gym. So no one trains together because they think I might fight you one day.
Yeah.
And I said, man, that's why the Americans are better, because they all train together. Like Joe Stevenson trained with you know, like guys. They all train with dudes. Yeah, they all train with dudes that they fought. Like they didn't fight each other, but you know, I was just stating they all train with dudes that they fought. We don't. And in Australia, there was no UFC hadn't come to Australia yet. They didn't have the Ultimate Fighter Australia UK yet. Japan had only dropped down to Dream, and then Dream was up in the air because see that was the closest thing to us. Like America seemed so far away. Like you could be #1 fighter in Australia, ripping shit up, and they'll say who cares? But it's like, but the ranking system seems to know, like see that the Australian, because Australian fighters are pretty tough. Like it's weird, but there was no light for a lot of fighters. You know, like you know, see the guy that, like, you know, occasionally someone here and there would get picked up for UFC or something, and then all the other guys that were around the same caliber, same level in Australia say, man, I could beat that dude, why isn't it me? But it never would be. So that was a big reason why Josh was like, oh man, you know, I've been demotivated, I lost a couple fights, or my record is not fucking...
Well, listen to me, guys. Even in the best of cases, it's a hard job. It's a hard life, even for the guy.
It's an emotional life too, you know. It's ups and downs. The highs of winning a fight compared to
physical trauma that you guys put yourself... I mean, it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's everything, man. Yeah, you know, and there's not a lot of payoff for it for 99% of people doing it.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
We still do it.
So what'd you do when you were kind of just bummed out?
Well, I got into a sort of serious relationship, and that made it
serious.
Well, it was serious. I've never had a real serious relationship in my life, you know?
I had my first fight after I had my second daughter. You know what I mean? So, bro, you know, don't talk to me about women being stopping you. Yeah, it was him. He was like, bro, well, fight for what? He's like, bro, why should I train
and
for
like
8
he was
weeks
saying before,
so I can fight in the back of nowhere in Australia on a shitty promotion for a couple $100? I don't want to do it, Rob. And I was the one guy that I was like, I would go travel to whichever top fighter in Australia that I knew that had a fight, and I would say, man, you got training camp, you need a training partner, and I would get good work, and that helped me to improve, and that's why I got to a higher level, and then I went to Thailand.
Yeah, but you hustled that then, man.
I hustled always. I
hustled, whereas I'd
50 Ks and
I'd stay fucking
it was something that
I trainer, you know, I couldn't go anywhere, and like,
but it was something I knew I was gonna do, you know, and now like that's why ONE FC for me, like I'm. You know, as far as pay rate and stuff goes, I'm the same as it, like, what is it, like 400 out of the 450 UFC fighters, you know what I mean? So my pay is okay, like it's finally, like, this is my job. But even when it wasn't, like I would make it my #1 priority, you know? So for me, ONE FC is like awesome in that sense. And for me, my ultimate dream would be for ONE FC, because of the rule set, because we can sign anyone. Like there's no restrictions. That my dream is it becomes like Pride was. Do you know what I mean? Like, my dream is that I become the modern day Gomi. You know what I mean? That lighter weight
dude.
I
love
that's
Gomi
there on the
back
side
then,
of the cage,
dude.
just
That
going,
streak he went on, my
you
God.
know?
Knocking out Jens Paul.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
everyone.
That fight I
beating
watched,
everyone's
I don't know how many
ass, you
times.
know?
Who was the Brazilian that he
love
didn't stop
Calatrava.
punching?
Azevedo.
Luis?
Ar-
No.
No, Luis Azevedo.
Azevedo.
He knocked him out and then kept
Just
going.
kept
And then after, because he's from shoot box, and then fucking Vanderlei and shit jumped in the ring, you know, and Vanderlei, you know, when Rampage called him out, and Vanderlei's like, my belt, and pushes him and shit. And they were fucking, you know, not testing him, and they were fucking juiced up, and they were beasts, you know, and it was awesome. Like,
No,
here's
here's something else, though, because what's cool about you guys is there's obviously a crazy chemistry. You guys are like brothers from another mother. But I do know that there's a serious philosophical approach to martial arts that you differ on. Josh, you seem to be quite anchored in the classic, traditional martial arts philosophy, and you're way more on the gung-ho, let's do this type thing.
I think, yeah, he's more like, and that comes from the upbringing too. He's from a different area.
But
than
then you
me,
look at it,
like-
but then when we fight, I fight more well-rounded and martial arty, and this guy
I just
goes
stand
there
there.
like he's in a bar. Like,
That's what I mean, but I'm interested
mentally,
in
I'm
philosophy.
much more like Yamato Damashi, you know, like samurai spirit.
So what makes you gravitate towards that?
I've just always loved Japanese culture. You
Okay.
know,
Have you been to Japan?
No.
I've been to Japan twice. It's dope.
Yeah.
I went there to record Japanese play-by-play commentary for NBA Live 2003.
And I bet
They
they
flew
were
me there. I
beasts.
spent for 2 weeks. I was in Tokyo
better be
recording
mad.
dudes in Japanese.
How good were they? Like, was it like watching like even the best game you've ever seen?
You know what? I like when there's something about the Japanese. I like when they do something right, they do it the way I like it. Like I love their sense of graphic design. I love their sense of architecture, and even how they deck out places, the lighting, the wood, the stone.
The
They do
thought
everything
that goes into a tea
meticulously.
ceremony, you know, you got to turn the cup here.
You know, and there's something meticulous. I'm an
OC.
OCD, freak like that. Like I like things my way. You know what I mean? And their food's great. Their manga, the anime. I love Fist of the North Star.
Yeah,
I love
man.
and I love their video games.
Ninja
you know?
Scroll and
Man.
shit.
Yeah, you know.
See that? Are you allowed to poke a motherfucker in the chest
What do you mean?
in MMA? Could
In the
I do a
chest,
Fist
I
of
think.
the North Star on someone and go pop, 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 pop? Yeah, like and then like just pop holes in their body.
Yeah,
Like, because they'll
gotta hit
say
those
no.
pressure points, man.
You know, it's not an eye poke.
Was it Dimba?
It's not an eye poke. It's a body poke. You know.
Yeah. No, it's
Fist of the North Star. I'm gonna Fist of the North Star this motherfucker.
no, but I mean it's pressure points. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and there's a
Yeah.
whole I'm
That's
sure
cool,
culture surrounding that stuff. I mean,
Ninja
acupuncture. I mean, that's pretty much that's what Fist of the North Star is playing off. If you look at those acupuncture points, that shit
that's
is
right.
awesome.
Is that right?
acupuncture.
That's still the best
Heat of a
cartoon
fire.
ever made. I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody says, man. That was the best
Ninja
shit ever.
Scrolls.
Ninja Scrolls.
Dope.
Yeah, but
man.
it didn't have the run
And
that.
see, I
Fist of the
love
North Star.
Street Fighter 2. Like
The animated.
Street Fighter 2 just sort of
Yeah.
got me started in like fighting and
See,
World
me
Warrior
too.
and all that shit.
See,
There's
is that-
no arcade game that I spent more money on in my life than Street Fighter 2.
man.
And after that, I
There's
swore
no
I would
game
never
like that
play another 2D fighting
That's
game
still-
again
that's all pretty
because
much
I was
I
just like,
can't,
I
you
probably
can't.
poured $10,000 as a child.
Yeah.
And I was just scraping by washing dishes to have stacks of coins. I remember I lived in France at the time,
Yeah,
and I would
sweet.
just post up at the
Everyone
arcade
had
and knock
stuff.
out Street Fighter 2 forever.
Yeah.
And I could torch
Right.
every single dude with every single dude.
No, you couldn't. I would
could.
fucking blow you away. You know, I would Rayo Ken your ass. And maybe even back then guile your ass.
No, I was
You
like,
know,
no,
I'll go-
I couldn't do
I was a
Dulcet.
wanker guy.
You had to take, if you could beat
I'll just
everybody
sit
with
back,
Dulcet.
bro, and go, a dog, and then when you jump over, I go, oh,
Guile was-
okay.
Guile was
And I
dope.
just dog ya.
And with Zangief, you could do those chest
Yeah,
splashes,
yeah.
and then you could huck the guy back
Yeah.
over your shoulders. He had
Yeah.
combos. So did E Honda with the
Yeah.
body splash and then
Man.
the fast hands.
Blanca was
Right,
fucking
see?
Blanca was sick. No,
I come
what a
from-
great game, man.
Bro,
That's
I
the
come from
best
See, I
That's
still
game
love
ever.
it. I love like the history of
It's
the
just
background
so-
of it. And
But
shit.
see, then I worked on the UFC game, and one thing, the UFC Undisputed series, I was the audio director on that for all three of them. And something that I was always trying to hammer home to the design team is to say, guys, the thing that make a game like Street Fighter 2 so dope is the fighter specificity. You know,
Yeah.
but in real life,
Almost
it's so
like-
hard to
they're
get that
almost
when you're
like
trying to do
stereotypes,
simulation.
you know?
Of course,
That should make an MMA game like
That's-
Street Fighter.
that's what Pride
with the
was.
character. Yeah, exactly,
That's what
exactly.
Pride
That's
was.
why we liked it.
That's
you know?
why, that's why
Exactly.
I guess that's what I want One FC to be, and that's why I would look at guys like Koji Oishi and that and go, man, you know what I mean? Like he's like Boku has a character, but his nickname is No Face. Like, see, there's not really personalities in it, and once the personalities come out and stuff like that, then it might change the world, you know, in that sense.
But it's funny that you mentioned that too, because I remember, like, I lived in France from '89 to '99, and so when I came back to, you know, I followed the UFC as much as possible, but I really didn't know about Pride. And then I came back to Vancouver, Canada in '99, and I just jumped right back. I remember the UFC had put out a box set of, like, I don't know, UFC maybe 33 to 43, you know, and it was like the Chuck and Randy fights.
That was when
You know, there was the Tito
Vitor.
Shamrocks. Yeah, there was some Lawler in there. There was a bunch of Nate Diaz
Lawler,
fights
yeah.
and early Diego Sanchez, Carl Parisian, all that.
Peace,
Hermes
Brad,
Franca.
shit.
Hermes
Hermes
Franca was
Franca.
killing dudes back then. I love Hermes Franca.
But
But then
he came
I...
out with that. Remember that fight? He came out with the purple bolt.
Yep.
Yeah, he's always good.
But what I started doing after that, I started collecting UFC DVDs because I wanted them all. I just wanted to rewatch all this stuff and get really up to speed again. And the guy was buying the DVD, so he's like, "You got to check out this Pride shit." And I'm like, "What the fuck, Pride? That sounds gay." You know, it's like Pride. You know, it's like, and then you looked at the covers, and the guys were always looking weird, like monsters, because you had like Mark Coleman, and
Gary Goodrich,
and
would be on the cover.
What was that silver guy?
Heath Herring. Oh yeah, the giant
big,
silver.
Like he made big.
His
just
name was
they
Giant
look
Silver.
like comic book
like-
characters.
Yeah.
You know, even Vanderlei looked like a comic. Fujita. Kevin Randleman.
Yeah.
If some dude doesn't look like a freak of nature,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
Kevin
yeah.
Randleman. So you
Yeah.
had these covers, and I'm like, really? This looks like pro wrestling or something, dude. It looks,
Yeah, pro wrestling.
it looks weird. And then I pop these things in. I'm like, how the hell have I never heard of this? It's the sickest shit since AIDS.
And the
it's
intros,
ridiculous.
the intros and shit like that.
Oh, dude,
do you
the
know what I
chick,
mean?
what's
The
her name?
VTRs, you know what I mean? Like before the fight would be so fucking epic. You know what I mean? The Dream did it. You know what I
Yo,
mean?
Trash Talk
Dream.
MMA. You want to talk trash talk? The best single clip ever was by Phil Baroni before he went to fight Minoa Man.
Yeah.
And he said something like,
Damn.
the guy's got a mullet, he wears a Speedo, I don't want him touching me. Knock him the fuck out.
Yeah. Please.
You guys got to go back. And that's not my favorite
Phil
event.
Baroni
It's at
in the
Pride
face.
Bushido.
And
I
then
think
he
it's
stomped him out.
Bushido. Which one is it? I think it's Bushido 7.
And he stomped him out.
And that card starts
Kawaju's
with
on it as a raid.
who was the Charles Crazy
Payne.
Horse Bennett.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
And he came out and punched a dude in the nose. It looked like he hit his brain with his nose bone, and then he jumped from the mat
Yeah.
onto the top of the
Yeah, I
ropes,
remember
bounced out,
yeah, yeah.
ran up the ramp, came back, jumped up,
Somersault.
grabbed the ropes with his hands,
Yeah.
did a somersault, and lands back in the cage in the splits, flexing. And I was like, that's the illest.
Yeah,
And
he's
his
the
trashy
sickest
it was
highlight
the
in the
sickest
world.
highlight, and he just caved the dude's face in. It was a
Yeah.
horrifying knockout.
Boom, like, yeah.
problem.
Like,
But same thing, his trash
No,
talk, he was completely blitzkrieged in the trash talk in the little promo to start. His eyes are closed. He's like, you know, I'm that dude, and I does my thing, and it's going down. And it went down like a motherfucker,
Yeah.
man. It was insane.
he's awesome.
That card, another one. That's Bushido
Yeah.
7, man. From
Yeah.
start to finish, it is just a slobber knocker, the whole card.
Man, that's like Jimmy Manuel. And see, when Rampage was interviewed by Bas before he fought Minoa Man, he goes, man, I'll tell you what I know about Minoa Man. He's the shit. You know? Minoa Man.
Manure Man.
Yeah, Manure Man.
He's the-
And
I
then
didn't
he
even
goes,
catch
"He's
that,
the
dude.
shit."
Yeah.
And then after Bas was like, you know, in Japan, you know, in America, you must understand, if he say he is
Oh,
the
yeah.
shit,
It means he's
he's good. Yes.
And he's
You know
like-
what I mean? Like, and he
He's like,
was
no,
just,
he's
he
manure.
was just, he was just calm. Manure, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and do my best against Manure, man. And I think that every time I hear come on, man, Jimmy Manuel, it depends how you want to pronounce it. You know what I mean? Like, Manuel. You know? Manure. Manure. You can say ma, or you can say man. Manure.
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 Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, Pride, man. When they folded that, I was like, it was. But dude, seriously, like when the UFC grabbed Pride, though, it was like awesome. We're gonna see the fights we've always wanted to see, and at the same time, it was like, there's no way we're seeing another Pride event. You know, and they talked about wanting to keep it running, and that because of the, you know, it's too hard to do business with the Japanese that they shut it down. But that's an era that's lost forever, guys.
See?
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be hard to recreate.
Well, there's all
right.
sanctions and shit with the Yakuza and stuff over there, apparently.
Japan, like UFC goes there. UFC is making their money. They make, like, see, this is the thing. They say he's the only guy in boxing that's ever done it, and no one will. I don't think no one can ever do it in MMA. And I've never but Floyd, like, he was on the top rank when he went professional under Bob Arum, and then after he paid $750,000 to get out of his contract with him, and then he started Mayweather Promotions, and then after the first fight he had was against De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, because he was always going to be number 2, because he's number 2 pound for pound, and there's an A side and a B side. So the B side, like, Floyd had to wear massive gloves, like fucking. He got hardly none of the money. You know what I mean? Like, the A side gets everything, right? And that was the thing when they wanted to fight ages ago. Manny would send his contract, like Arum send his, and Floyd send his, and Floyd's got his signature on it. He's like, man, I got the contract signed. He don't want to sign it. Do you know what I mean? Of course, Floyd don't want to sign Manny, and from, like, because it says 50-50 split, but Manny don't want to sign Floyd's because it said, oh, you're gonna have to do this and this and this, but he didn't want to have to take, you know. But anyway, after that, Floyd became the A side, and so every time he's fought, do you know what I mean? It's his promotion, and it sells big numbers. So it's like as if Lorenzo Fertitta putting a picture up of his check, you know, and saying, man, UFC 187. $80 million, baby.
In the bank.
You know what I mean? In the bank to the Zuffa Corporation, you know, but that's why Mayweather, his checks say to Mayweather Promotions, made out to Mayweather. So he's Lorenzo Fertitta and Ronda Rousey together. Like, he's the same, like, do you know what I mean? He's the only one that's that name. He's the
promoter
and the show.
And
the show. And that's why he gets that money. That's why they say, oh, you make 120 million, Manny will make 80. Manny will make fucking 10.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because Bob Arum will make the money, and then everyone shares it out. You know, it's bullshit, man. Like, that's why you gotta give so much respect to Floyd Mayweather. Like, he just blows me away. Like, do you know what I mean? And then it's like, if we
he's engineered to win. The dude's engineered to win. You know, as an athlete, as a businessman,
exactly. He will show you
as a whole. Yeah.
He's a one man arm.
This fight, May 2, is gonna do a lot for me. You know, if Manny wins, man, I'm gonna, train like Manny, to fight like Manny. You know, I mean, but I'll always fight the way I fight. You know, but if Floyd wins, you know, I will train more because Floyd's just does this fucking slow rhythm, and occasionally breaks the rhythm. You know, the way he trains, as far as hidden bag and pads and the body bag thing. You know, and then he's got cardio, and he's got these counter reflexes that are ridiculous. Like one punch, in fights he throws only one punch and counters halfway through the combo, and hits the guy and then he's gone. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, and he trains. I don't know, the way he trains is crazy. And Manny trains fucking, you know, he breaks his body down a lot more, you know. And we all train like that. We all think you got to train like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, because I don't know, man. I was hitting the bag with the heart rate monitor on, and I hit it for like Floyd style, and I went for half an hour. And then I checked the heart rate monitor, and it was crazy. It's as if I was fucking sprinting nearly. Because once your heart rate gets to a point, it just stays there.
Getting cruise control.
Yeah, and then you're relaxed in that zone. And then when you go and you train stuff that sometimes your heart rate goes crazy, you feel, oh, it's easy, you can handle it. You know, you're not, it's weird, we'll see. I swear, man, this fight, everyone talk about Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo, he'll kick his fucking legs, and he'll fucking like clip him and shit, and he'll MMA him and be better than him, because Conor hasn't fought anyone nearly
Pedigree,
like he ain't fought no Frankie Edgar. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of it, but Conor is like long, southpaw, sick boxer.
He's a big guy.
He's a nice boxer.
And he manages his distance as well too.
Manages
He knows
his
he
distance
knows,
well,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
every fight he's got a leg. Don't forget Conor's kicks that he throws that never land, like capoeira
the spinning
kicks
ones,
that,
yeah.
and stuff that never land.
I mean,
So
has
what
he
the
ever
fuck-
landed
what-
one? That's actually a good point.
and heaps of people they try to
Yeah,
emulate him, and it's like, bro, he's not. It can't be that great if he's never landed it.
Yeah.
Why are
But
you
look, I mean,
emulating that? Emulate when Conor. He keeps his range because with his southpaw, and then boom, he hits him with that left hand, you know, boom, right hook. He boxes dudes, right?
But look, you brought it up with Ben Henderson earlier, though, how he flicks his hair, and that's kind of like, yo, I'm the man. You know, maybe him just throwing fancy kicks, and they're an inch or
Kicks
two
in the
away, and it's like he was
He's
being
winning.
offensive. He was
Like
trying
Floyd,
to,
yeah, he
you know?
shows shrugs, and Manny
You know
will
it.
touch his gloves together because you know when he gets clipped, but it's like, no, I won that exchange because watch this.
Yeah.
I'm about to go crazy. Or yeah, they've all.
But yeah,
got
we
some-
talk about it how it's a system, you know, and that's part of his system. Maybe throwing some fancy stuff that he knows he's not going to land it, but it, you know, it keeps the crowd in the fight. You know,
Yeah.
it keeps the
And
other
then-
guy guessing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I can't. Yeah, because Connor's look like good, and but it's like I don't know for that fight. I'm not like I don't even consider it really that much. But I mean, if he wins, I'll be like, damn, he's the man, because he ain't never fought nobody like that. Dustin Poirier's tough,
Yep.
and he clipped him, you know, and he won that fight. Do you know what I mean? But he ain't fought caliber, like, see, and he's won and lost and stuff like that. And whereas Jose is, like, when Jose first went into WEC, he fucking wrecked everyone. His highlight
yeah.
was fucking way better than Conor's,
Yep.
right? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, the way he beat Cub Swanson or whatever, like, you know,
Double
his
flying D in 8
highlight
seconds,
was better than Conor's, but yet, you know, Conor's the next best. No, so I don't know, man. Jose Aldo had that too. You know what I mean? So I see, man, like, if they put money, if there's money and they put like Conor favorite or something, all right, I'd put money on Jose for that fact. You know what I mean?
Well, see, what I like about this though is that
can't-
it's
as far as fighting, like Jose's shown it in all his fights against
For
strikers,
years,
against
too.
grapplers, against everything's, that he has technique. Motherfucker jabs, leg
Those
kicks.
leg kicks, man.
He steps out of range and then right hand, boom, you know, comes back with that right. He's just like, he's a beast, man. Like, and see, like, that's the thing. But can he fight a southpaw? Not sure. Like, see, can he fight a long southpaw that boxes? Do you know what I mean?
because who's the
UFC
longest
UFC
fighter
know
that
that.
Jose's fought though? Everybody's
It's a-
fought his
UFC know that.
dwarfs, man.
All right, he
You know?
might win, but like, I mean, I would have. Look, Chad Mendes would beat Conor easier than
Yeah.
Jose would.
Yeah.
Even Dennis Bermudez would beat Conor. Fucking probably Clay Guida will Clay Guida his ass, and him beat Conor.
Well, I mean, I think
Right?
that's the controversy here. Is
That's
he
why
hasn't
he's
fought
fighting.
anybody who's aiming to take him down.
He's,
Yeah.
Dennis Seaver, Dustin Poirier,
Diego
Brendel. You know, all these guys
Marcus
are trying to
Brimage.
trade. You know, Brimage, dude, he pasted Brimage. Though.
Max Holloway.
Yeah.
He
Who looked
took
awesome.
him
looked
down.
fucking
He
sick.
took down Max Holloway and fucking laid on him and said, "Yeah, I busted my knee." And it's true, but if it was another guy, he probably would. Because after seeing last weekend, if it was another guy, he probably would have still stood up and fucking tried to knock the guy out. Man, that Max Holloway must be fucking legit, bro.
He
The
was
way
looking
he
good,
schooled
Cub Swanson.
Cub,
Yeah.
shoo, shit, man, that kid was fucking one step ahead, man.
Yeah, I was tweeting like a maniac. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
What's
What's
going
Cub
on?
waiting
Like-
for?
Like,
And-
Cub
and
was like, Cub looked thick, you know what I mean? He looked thick and strong, like as if he had
was-
an intention to go out there and wrestle and shit, and he didn't. Like,
And there was too much coming at him, you know, like
man,
angles. He'd be moving all the
switch,
time.
man, he
Like,
switched the whole
Switching
time.
levels, switching
no,
kicks,
switch
punches,
stance,
knees,
switch
you know,
stance,
like
like
everything.
he was,
Oh, he was
southpaw,
switching stance like crazy.
Oh yeah, it was fucking good, man. Like, and then guillotine, like,
Yeah, that was the only pick I had wrong.
But
I
I
thought
mean,
Cub was gonna.
but see,
I thought Cub was
why
gonna
did,
do his
why
thing.
did Conor beat him? Because he laid on him. He laid on him.
Nope.
Do you know what I mean? Lay on Jose, bro. Put Max Holloway against Jose. and everyone would say fuck, and Jose would wreck
Run through
him,
him,
kick knock him out. But all right, put Max Holloway against Conor.
No, but Max Holloway's another tall dude. I mean, because he's tall too, and that's the type of adversary that Jose hasn't had. You know.
Yeah. No, he has, man. He fought the guy that was, but not. He's not a stand-up fighter, but the guy that was on the Ultimate Fighter, that went to India and.
The one that won it.
Yeah, the one that won it. Brookins, Jonathan Brookins.
Yeah.
He's tall and he fought a couple of tall dudes and he overhand rights him. And
that
he
was in the
fucking head
WBC.
kicks him.
Yeah.
He overhand rights him and he head kicks him. He
but
he looks like Conor, and
it.
Conor is like an inch and a half, 2 inches taller than him.
Yeah, but
and he looks
that,
at him like with his scar face and he's like, you fucking piece of shit, I'll kill you. You don't know me. Like, you don't know. See, it's funny, like, do you know what I mean? You think about it, like, because Frankie's like, man, he's won so many belts and all that. So when he was there looking at Jose, people weren't questioning, oh, fuck, Jose's scared, man, or something, right? Jose was looking at Frankie and anyone who was standing like in front of him before, like, let's do this. Yep. So people think now all of a sudden he's looking at Conor like, oh no, look out, this crazy screaming Irishman that even if I could speak English, I wouldn't understand his accent because that's what I learned in Thailand. No one understands anyone's accents if you're from a different part of the world. But, Jose's looking at him and he's saying in Portuguese, like, fuck your mum, I will fucking kill you. Like, fighting words, like only fighting words coming out of it's so beast because everyone, like, they hear Conor, it's my belt and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, Jose, you should have. And Jose's there going, puto my ass. They're like, fuck your mom, I will kill you, you fucking piece of shit. Like, only words that is like saying to someone, like, swing. So it's funny, man. Like, Jose deserves, like, whatever happens. But it's like, it's a fucking joke that. I want to see him go to Brazil, man. Like, beautiful Brazil, beaches and shit. And Jose now got a daughter and, that motherfucker's kicking ass in the gym and he's kicking ass in the beach and nice scenery. But nah, let's put Conor on his way to go hang out with Dana White. You know what I mean? Like, fucking hell, bro. You know what I mean? While the champ's there fucking trying to make some money. He's like, and taking everyone out that he had to. Hey, and like that's why, man, there was a period, before my last fight, there was a period because he was putting out a lot of content. It was like so much and it hadn't got to this stage and I was like, man, Conor's the best, bro. Like, Conor's so inspiring, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that little documentary.
Like, he's just a dude, like, just like any of us that were just sitting at home, or he wanted to be a plumber. Man, I worked so many jobs. Just we know what it is to work. Like, if this dude did work in Ireland and that, and then say, fuck it, I want to be an MMA fighter. Like, I decided at 25. You know what I mean? I had 2 kids already. Remember my second kid, and I was, became the best in the country and stuff like that because I believed, And see, I looked at him and go, man, I like him, man, And it's only this situation. Because the UFC make it like Conor McGregor's opponent, Jose Aldo. Do you know what I mean? Like, they could be showing highlights for fucking 20 minutes of Jose kicking dudes' asses. Yeah. But they only have like fucking a minute and a half of Conor whooping dudes.
Yeah, but that's called promoting a fight, dude.
Yeah,
that's called promoting a fight. And the UFC's never promoted a fight like this. I mean, this is insane. Like, this is the most heavily promoted UFC fight of all time. It's going to featherweights. It's going to a dude who like they said, who's on paper shouldn't have the fight.
Well, then they think that
they're dying for Conor to win.
And they're like, but just the same way when Floyd fought Victor Ortiz or whatever, he knew he was going to whoop him. But they got to make the other guy seem like he's got a chance. You know what I mean?
But like, the UFC does this every fight, dude.
He can do it.
But the UFC does this every fight. Every fight's always the next dude, the main eventer's deepest challenge.
Joe Rogan saying, of all guys, this is the
He's saying nobody, like, they're saying Demetrius Johnson has never fought, as hard a hitter as Horiguchi. Like, that is literally what Rogan is saying on the previews right now. It's like, come on, man. He's fought a bunch of dudes. I mean, when Joseph Benavidez hits guys, they go down too. I mean, are you saying Horiguchi hits harder than Joseph Benavidez?
Hey, Horiguchi hits hard and he's a beast, and it's not his power that's going to help him. I mean, he's got to win in all aspects. Yeah. That's crazy. Bro, every single fight, bro, it's like, you know, he could be next in line for the title. You know what I mean? Like the guy that won. Because look at Joe Soto. It doesn't, so it doesn't matter who you are and what you are or whatever. Like, you could be next in line for the title.
And props to Joe Soto for taking that fight. You mean against Dillashaw, right?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that was... he still went 5 rounds, man.
Yeah,
you know?
See, but you look at, like, see, someone like Ian, you know? Like, see, imagine, like, our friend Ian, he's got good leg locks.
Yeah.
And that's his whole game. Like, I mean, like, not his whole game, but that he's better than everyone at.
His specialty,
so why not beat him at that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
no, I've watched this highlight reel of the Nasty.
Well, there you go. See,
and the thing is, with that puts fear in people because people don't want their knees jacked up.
Like
people don't like the Paul. Nobody wants to fight.
You should say white Toquinho.
Is he gonna change rearrange my DNA? You know what I mean?
No, it'll take 6 months. It is a shit thing because it takes 6 months out of your career. You know.
I don't really. I mean, if people talk about rule changes and stuff, it's like if those leg locks, like the knee bars, the ones that shred the knee by the time you tap, that you're already getting surgery. That's not cool, man.
But
because they can, bro. If you want to take something out. Right, because fighting should be fighting, right?
I don't want to take anything out, but I can imagine why some fighters don't like fighting dudes.
The back of the head and the spine, you know, if that's supposed to hurt dudes seriously and that, it's good that they don't have that, bro. And if you're saying if you care about people's knees, just like I do, then what about John Jones and his fucking knee
kicks? Yep. Well, Anderson's
oblique kicks. Yep. Man, I was rampaging if it was an oblique kick. You know what I mean? Like
it's like, no, it's called a kneecap where I'm from.
And then so it's like, if that was something else, it'd be like 1 warning, 2 warnings, 20 warnings, plus his eye pokes. Man, see, John Jones is such a beast. But now when I think about it, if he ever goes the distance and they refed it fairly, he'd get 20 points taken off him by the end of the fight. Because by the end of the fight, he's already poked him in the eyes like 18 times and kicked him in the knee like fucking 45 times, you know, like, yeah, true. Like, it's not he's an awesome fighter, but he's not.
But the craziest thing is, too, is the only loss on his record is for those 12-6 elbows against Matt Hassan. And that's crazy. That's his only loss.
And that should be allowed.
Of course,
that should be allowed. Like,
but
that's not that elbow, but it's not.
That's crazy how his sole loss is from that.
That's awesome.
But you know,
so because they took that away from him, they're like, you know what, bro? We're never gonna take a point off you again.
Yeah.
You know, like we gave you a loss on your record
for cheating. Now you're allowed to cheat till the end of time.
So now. It's done.
Brutal, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And what's crazy is he doesn't need to do that, but we just keep hitting these points. It's part of people's systems. It's part of their styles. The thing that they do to discourage the other dude, to keep it unpredictable. You know, all these champions, all these guys that had good success, they got tricks, man.
How many times has he done it in training? He's done it so many times in fights.
That'd be interesting. Gotta ask his teammates how many times you get eye poked. Right?
Yeah, well, see, they probably don't even wear small gloves and do that much and stuff like that. Like I don't even know. Like see, like we're crazy out here, you know. Like we spar. I mean, I don't know. I guess I've seen Jose do it at Nova now that they spar with the like big MMA gloves, and we don't go like hard, but like hard, 100% hard, but we
still
don't go like
solid.
Yeah. But I've seen like a lot of big gyms. They do everything for precautions to keep everyone safe, you know.
How's the injury ratio at PTT? You guys stay pretty healthy? I mean,
we do. No, man. There's one thing in Thailand. All right, we were just talking about how awesome Thailand is. There's one thing that's fucked up. Every gym is like running with there's infestation running in the air, staph and ringworm like running in the air with. All this place, you know.
I know it's the humidity and everybody's rolling around sweaty and gross.
But apart from that, no, man, like, dude's not getting injured. Like, you know, Marcy actually, he went to AKA, and but we were running, and running the block, and then after his knee popped, and it's been fucked ever since, sort of thing. Just jogging the block, man.
Who was this?
Marcio,
Okay.
the black belt. He's at AKA now.
Yep.
He was with us before, and we're just running the block with can't remember his name. He's a little tank, man. Like I was training with him. He fought in World Series. He's gonna fight for the belt now. He won his fight. We're all training together, getting ready for it. Yeah. And and Marcio just, his knee popped out and he's been jacked ever since. Like, it's weird. But yeah, dudes don't get injured in training.
Do you think there's more the gyms could be doing to keep staph infection under control?
No way. No, there's
It's
nothing
like,
at all, man.
Like they're
There's
mopping them,
Yeah.
they're cleaning everything all the time. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
The
it
thing
seems like
about-
they're all on top. It doesn't
the
benefit
difference-
the gym to have this propagate.
The
You know what
difference,
I mean?
the heat and humidity make it right for any kind of that stuff more so than somewhere else.
Oh, and the
But
sheer volume of different people
the,
too, right?
the difference between Thailand and America and Australia and stuff like that. See, other people live where they live, and it's weird. Only fighters do it in Thailand, but I swear, like every normal dude, you know, people come out on training holidays, and they're like, I'm here for 1 month, I'm gonna train, and then they get staph in the first week or whatever,
Brutal.
and
That
then
sucks, man.
you know what they do? They put something on top of it,
Like a bandage.
or, you know, and they go to training, and they train, and they go, I am losing my money, I am losing my time, and fighters go, oh, I need to take antibiotics for 5 days, I need to try and train around it, because I've got to look like I want to go back and go back without staph. You know what I mean? I've got to fix it up. But that's why it goes more, I reckon, in Thailand, because I reckon people that have it know they have it.
And
just,
still train with
yeah,
it.
man, and they're very open, like we don't even care. Just, do you know what I mean? Like, far out. You know, when
Yeah, that needs to be
Eric,
policed,
when
man.
we were going to my fight, you know, he had like a pin, like a staph on his arm. And I was like, bro, what are you doing, man? Cover that shit up or something, because you're gonna help me warm up. You're gonna give me staph, like, and he's there squeezing like shit out of it, and he's going, bro, it's gone, man. And I'm like, it's
Squirting all over
Like, yeah, like,
your shirt. That's on my shirt.
that's fucked up, man. But yeah, you know, that's what. Yeah, but that's what people do here. I don't know. But yeah, but injury-wise, I don't know, the warm weather and stuff like that makes you get less injuries.
Yep, loosened up, staying warm.
Loosened up, you're
Joints are
warmed up
warm all
straight
the time.
away.
I agree.
We get less
You
injuries.
need 5 minutes to warm up.
Everyone, like, you got a bum knee in your country, you know, and it's cold and shit, and then you come to Thailand, and after a couple of days, you're like, wow,
Everything loosened
my
up.
knee feels great. Like, you know, and then you get home and you're like,
You just
fucking
start
my knee
getting
hurts more than ever, because I've been running.
And the heat forces you to hydrate too, which keeps everything oiled up, you know. That's another thing too. I mean, you got to drink
Yeah.
your 3 liters of at least of water
You
per
got
day.
to,
you
man.
flush
You
it
got to
in the
drink
system
more.
all the
But see,
time.
and that's in Thailand is temptation. See, there's people even have the temptation to not drink the water because like they train very hard and then they don't drink that much water that day. Then the next day they train very hard again, and then they look in the mirror and they're like dehydrated and they're like look awesome.
I'm all
And they're like,
ripped.
wow, look how great I look. I've got to drink this much water every day so I can keep looking better, you know. And then it's very easy to get to a level of like where you're
Well, me, it's weird because I've been out here.
shit, you know.
I've been
because-
out here for 3 months, and I've been mainly working because I'm just recording you guys all the time. And so I haven't been training as much as I want, and when I have, I've just been doing like body fit classes, like just to stay in shape, you know, 2-3 hours a week. But I've lost 5 kilos just by being here. I showed up, I was probably between 80 and 82, and I'm sitting at 73.5 today. And I really haven't done anything but just go on the Thai diet, you know,
You
eat
lost like
rice.
7 kilos, bro.
Like, you know, you're basically not drinking wine, you're not eating cheese, you're not eating bread. I'm a French fucker, so I'm always eating all that crap.
Bread and-
you know what I mean?
It's so
There's no
common.
dairy, you know? So it's like, you don't realize it, but
portions
you
are small,
portions are smaller.
and you don't even realize it. Like,
Yeah. And things
Because
are
you
just
guys are
cooked clean,
cheap.
you know? Exactly.
And
But
yeah,
it's funny
it's
how
just-
chicken, broccoli, and rice and a
Yeah.
bunch of water will just make the weight melt off, you know?
Yeah.
And the heat, you're sweating
Yeah.
like crazy.
Yep, that's it. It's meat, vegetables, and rice. That's pretty much your
Yep.
main meals. If it's Thai food, eh? Like,
And anyway, even if you want something else, it's shitty and it's expensive. So why even bother doing it, right?
yeah, no, but every time I go back to Oz, the first thing I have, big juicy steak, T-bone, man.
You
So
know?
we didn't have
You
one
know
last
what I
time
mean?
I was
Like
there.
T-bone steak. Even I could get it here, and it'd probably be delicious or whatever. And But it's not the point.
It's not
like,
contextual.
You know, as soon as I go home, first thing, steak, bro, you know. Please, God, that I go home eating a victory steak. Man, that steak will be so good. I'll win that fight and I'll be right back in contention, you know, just like I am now. They know. People wonder, like, oh, why do I never get easy fights. They go, oh, Rob, you never get easy fight. But it's because I'm not an easy fight for nobody. You know what I mean? I'm nobody's opponent. Like, everyone sees it and I didn't see it. And that was the problem before. And one day, and I am trying to make those steps to wake up to myself. But when I truly see myself as a champion, I will become one, you know?
So what's the roadmap for you then to become champion 1FC?
Man, I beat this guy. Like, if I beat Timofey, then Marat or Ev Ting will fight for the belt. If their fight is shit, like we're both just as high level as them, and I win well, people will say, why don't he fight for it? Anyway, or let's say someone can't fight and they want Jadamba to defend his belt because it's under his contract, so he'll have to fight somebody. And let's say Marat says, no, I just want to be at home and relax, whatever, you know. So yeah, I'll fight him because I'm the next rank. And I beat the highest rank before me, you know. And I beat the highest rank before that. Do you know what I mean? The guys that if I lost to, they like either retired or they're going to fight for the belt.
So you just slide into that position.
I'm right there. So anyway, if I don't win, if I don't fight for the belt, then the next fight, I fought Kawanaga, who was the current Legend FC champ. He was the only one I lost to featherweight, and then I got the record fastest knockout of One FC at that time. And so then after, and he was a champion, you know. So then the next fight I fought, and it was the #1 contender fight against Eric. And then after we got fight of the year, and he got the choke on me after I pumped him a bit. But who knows? See, he's out of the promotion, I'm sure, because they're not talking about him. He's not talking. He got that 50 grand bonus, the one and only time they gave it up, warrior bonus, because he survived against me, at the end of the day. And he took that money now, and he's like, man, that's it. It's enough money to live in Philippines or whatever. Well, I don't know.
So he's not planning to compete anymore?
I don't think so. I think he might retire. When my training partner Brad Terry fought him, he busted his eye. Then he fought Bonario for the belt, and then his eye inflamed, and then he got hit in the eye in the 4th round, and he goes, oh nah, he stopped, you know, and that's his only loss, Eric's only loss. He's a tough dude, you know. No one ever did to him.
The eyes. You don't want to lose your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. No, and then when I fought him, he bled like liters out of his nose. And then after some dude posted something like, oh, his nose, anyway, his nose wasn't even broken. It was from the bones in his eye, around his eye, that he was bleeding from inside his fucking head or something. You know what I'm saying? That's worse, man, than breaking his nose. Because they say it on the articles, you know, Eric Kelly suffered a broken nose from Rob, so he couldn't fight for the belt. And then after, they say it could be injury issues or it's contract issues. Now he's out of his contract. We'll see. Anyway, good luck to him, man. Do you know what I mean? But I see him as to be gone. Koji Oishi, was the champ, and he retired too. So it's just me, and Kawanaga is there, and there's that Herbert Burns. See, that's the guy that, you know, he was world champion no-gi and that, and he's beat some good, he's gone on a streak in 1FC. He's beat some good dudes, man, like Harris Sarmiento and that. And he beat that Tanaka, that Japanese guy, last fight. So, I know that they want to groom him for a title shot, I think. And so if I win this fight, you know, maybe I'll have to fight him.
And what, first. He's a real ground ace or what?
Oh man, world champion. He's Gilbert Burns' brother. Gilbert Burns just fought in UFC in Brazil, and he was losing, and then he won.
Yeah,
and
that was crazy.
Awesome,
that was awesome.
Yeah, he's world champion no-gi, and that's his brother, and he was world champion no-gi as well. and gi, so he's good on the ground. Of course, you know. So it's like, oh yeah, like see, if I can get through, whoever can win this fight, do you know what I mean? Then maybe fight him first, then fight for the belt, because you know, maybe fight him for #1 contender fight, while Marat fights against Jadamba for the belt on the same card. See, yeah, I see that happening. Yeah. Marat will be
it can be 2 fights away or maximum 3.
Marat
including
will be
this one coming up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so then by the 3rd fight, I could be fighting for the belt by the end of the year. Do you know what I mean? It's in my contract. It's very likely. So it's like, what is it? It'd be like 7 months of like hard work and dedication and just taking it serious, because you know that even see in 4 weeks, you can change yourself. Like you can go from out of shape to being in shape.
Yep.
You can go from being a drug addict to being totally sober. You know, you can do a lot of things in short periods of time, you know. But so yeah, it's a short period of time, and if I knuckle down, you know, I could be champion. And if I'm not, man, it doesn't matter, because like I'm excited to fight. Like I'll be excited to sign a new fat contract with even more money, you know, times by 10. Like, you know, because I'll be in One FC, you know what I mean? That's it. I clean up One FC. I'll clean up One FC, and I'll say, you know, if Conor's a champ, Conor's a bum and he's shit. And then Conor will talk, and then people will talk shit, but it's like, man, so then they'll say, do co-promotion, get these guys fighting these guys.
Can't happen.
And it can happen if they want to share the money, but UFC says, man, we make enough money.
Yep.
We don't need, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. Like, it's all part of the game and part of the fight game. And at the end of the day, like, it's, I mean, man, if they ask me, like, if I got a contract, like, I tell them, send me the contract with my name signed. Just tell me the date and the weight, you know? Because, like, if they send me a contract and it said Conor McGregor, I'd say, see you on the 22nd, Conor McGregor, you know? Like, he ain't no tougher than me than this Timofey, you know, Nasty, you know what I mean? Nastyukhin, you know? So, yeah, like, yeah, Josh is in the same boat. He's in the...
Well, Josh, I mean, what's next for you? I mean, how are you lining up your fights? I mean, obviously, you know, Rob's
the only one
FC, but...
that I know is next is Brace FC's, what is it, semi?
Yeah, Brace is a promotion in Australia, Brace for War, and they're one of they're in the One FC circle
family,
or whatever
like,
it is,
affiliates.
So he's in a tournament.
Yeah, so
featherweight tournament.
I won the first round.
Okay.
And then
it was a bit rusty, copped a few hits, but it was a good fight.
The beard held up.
So it was,
so you won the fight, you got fight at night, you advanced to the 2nd round. When does that take place?
August, September.
Okay.
I'm told. So hopefully I want to get something else before then, and then win that, fight the final, win that, and then from there you get a One FC
move
contract.
around here.
Yeah, Embrace.
Oh, okay, that's official?
Yeah, well, that's what happened to Martin.
Especially if you put on
you win
fights,
the,
you know?
yeah,
that's very cool. We've talked about this. I didn't realize that was a stipulation. That, you know, that
you win the Brace belt, and then you get a One FC contract, and then after they'll do another.
That's great. This gives you a real solid objective to work towards, man.
Same thing,
that's measurable. That's cool. You know?
It's cool, Like that's it. Same thing, man. Like.
And it seems like they're spaced out enough. It's not like Bellator where they're trying to make a fight every 3 weeks and then just get...
No, because, this is like, they've got to get the other quarterfinals
done. Okay.
That's true, Yeah, that's
so there'll be like another event. Okay.
See, because what's better, Like, see how they say, look, would you rather make... Because, if you win the Bellator tournament, they used to have, how much was it? Like, you'd win like
100K or something. Yeah, I think it was 100K.
Yeah, so but all up, because the first fight you'd get 10 and 10, second fight...
Yeah, you're still getting paid for all your fights.
25 and 25 or something, and then the third fight, 100.
It wasn't sustainable, though.
No, but see, the thing is, if someone tells you, all right, you can make 100 grand in 3 months, or you could make 100 grand in 3 fights in 1 year, what would you rather do,
Do the 1 year? Well, I mean, it depends how much you need that dough and how quick you want it. You know?
But then at the end of the day, true.
Because the guy could still gun for this the 100K in 3 months and then still have 9 months left to get in other fights and make some more dough.
Yeah, no, but or you could get that 100K, and fucking go on holidays for 9 months. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure, some of them did.
It's the exact same thing, eh? Like, why would?
But no, but
like,
they can't, because then they were getting the title shots. You know,
No,
that was the thing.
they
If
do
you
the
win the
tournament,
tournament,
like-
then you get the title shot against the division champ. So they
yeah.
couldn't bounce for it.
And then you would get. That's how fucked up Bellator is. See, I mean, that was back then, you know. That's why, like, I know, like, they offered me a contract, and UFC. I was talking to UFC. They were gonna sign me, and One FC, and I chose One FC. But Bellator was like, we'll give you 1,750 towards flights. So if you want to pay for cornerman or the extra, you got to pay yourself. That's why we get guys from America in that. They go, we'll give you more than we give other guys for out of tournament flights. And then after they said, oh, but we want him in the tournament. So in the tournament you do that, you know, like. And then I thought about it, and like I said, I thought I would rather try to make 100 grand a year, you know, like that's how I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, you got a family too, and you do want to be in the States. And
the weirdest thing, what makes Bellator shit was the guy who won the tournament, right? You fight for the belt for 10 and 10.
Yeah. Well, it's a tournament belt, right?
The tournament, you go up to a stage where you're on 25 and 25, then you either win 50 grand or you win 100 grand for the final.
And
then you go and fight the
10.
champion who like, you know, you could fight 3 bums for all you know. Like, they could have a shitty tournament.
Yeah.
And it's because they don't know. Like, it's just names. They're throwing out names and they think this guy's all right, and they're not that good, you know. Yeah, and then after you fight the champ, like someone who's legitimately really tough, and you get 10 and 10. Like, that's messed up. Shouldn't you work your way that, boom, you won the finals, now you're on 100 and 100. Like, do you know what I mean? Or something. Like, you know, Conor McGregor he made that kind of, like, you know, 200 grand and shit, 300 grand and shit. Like, that's crazy money, you know? See, and then...
For gosh sake.
He's saying he's going to make 7 mil doing this fight.
Yeah?
No.
See, that means that he must have signed a new contract that says he gets this much points. And they said, yeah, cool, let's do it. You sell the points, we're going to make the money anyway. So he's just trying to sell it. So then they're leaving it to him to sell it because he's going to make money out of it. Yeah. Jose's not smart enough because his manager's that bloody Indian-looking, douchebag-looking, you know, he's like the biggest scumbag manager, like they all are. Like, you know what I'm talking about? He's in the background of the videos of that notorious, like, you know, when the manager comes in, he's like the typical manager, man. Yeah, but yeah, he done that, and he done smart to do that.
What do you do for your management?
I manage myself.
Just manage yourself, though.
Always have. I always have, man. Like, see, and I was always, that's why I got to where I got to too. Because, you know, I'm a fan too. So I'll watch MMA, and then I'll watch like Japanese MMA, and I'd try and look into MMA all around the world. Try to look at whatever cool content was out there on the net and stuff like that. And then I would look into that promotion and see, oh man, they're not that far as flights. Do you know what I mean? I am like one of the top fighters in the country, and then I became top fighter in my weight. And I was like, and I'm South Pacific champ and stuff, and I would find out the promoters, what their name was, and then find them on Facebook or whatever, and then hit them up myself and say, hey man, I'm Rob Lisita. Have a look at my fights on YouTube or whatever, and this is my record on Sherdog. And
you just pimped yourself.
I would like to fight, and I will fight your champ. Do you know what I mean? Let alone I'll fight anyone in your organization. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me fight who you think can beat me. So then that way when I whoop him, I've impressed you, you know, and you're happy to have me there. So that's why, another reason maybe why I don't get an easy fight or whatever, because I do ask for the best I can get, you know.
Yeah, you ask for the fights that make sense and that make money.
Yeah,
you know?
So that's how I promote, like I managed myself. And then so then when they go, all right, yeah, we want you to fight, I will give you this much, or how much do you want? Do you know what I mean? And I'll say, I currently get this much, or I'll be happy with this much. And, you know, you always like lie and say, oh, I'm making 10 grand a fight, But if you give me 5, I'll fucking take it because I love your promotion so much. Whatever it is. You know what I mean? And they go, oh, all right. But it's actually you were on $2,000 a fight, you were on $1,000 a fight. But you're just lying, like, and saying you were on more. And that's how you keep going up, you know? And then you start getting a fight, and then you tell people, and then you tell the promotion, man, I'm making more than that. I'm making 15, I'm on 7 fight, you know? That's how you work your way up. And that's, I don't know if I'm doing it, like, I'm doing it the best I can. I'm trying to give a blueprint in a sense for anyone to try and do it. But, see, I don't know if managers do the same, or if they just go, hey brother, yeah, we know we're gonna, like, together you're gonna make, you know, 100,000 from this fight, and you've got 20,000 towards purse. Or can you give my fighter 4? Because I'm gonna take 2, or, you know, I don't know.
What does Phuket Top Team do for you in that regard? Do they? I mean,
no. I organise my contract. I'm different, man. Like, you know, everyone
so
else. So
PCT has nothing to do with finding.
No, they have everything to do.
He's always been.
Boyd, the owner, he gets everyone fights, man. He's out there on the grind, sends out videos, speaks. So he does what I did for myself.
Good.
For all the fighters. He does it for everyone. And then dudes come and say, well, I haven't got a fight. Man, it's not my fault. Put your name forward.
In the basket.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't necessarily do more, you know? But if that dude went out there himself and harassed the
promoters,
the
matchmakers.
Yeah, because, man, that's Dana White loves it or whatever. And it's like, I want, like, see,
make some noise, dude.
If he walks out and goes, you know, like, TJ Dillon, Renan Barrell can't fight. Like, he went to the change room, the locker room, like, just before Renan Barrell can't fight. Who wants to fight? And Joe Soto stood up and went, me, you know? And, you know, it doesn't matter if those other guys, like, ranked above him, standing around, like, sitting around. Like, Dana probably would have said, you're fighting him. Do you know what I mean?
You're
like,
hungry.
Yeah, you know? So it's like,
props to him, man. Crazy.
Every dude has had to do it, and that's how you got to do it. And if you don't do it, then why are you doing it? What that means? Are you trying to use people and you trying to get money and just go along? So, but every fighter like has to say, I want the belt. I want the champ. I want to fight the champion. Because if champion is like another dude, except he has a prize too that comes with it. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't, like, you just. And every dude that you look at GSP, right? But see, and then to do it, you get put in the class of being like cocky and arrogant, right? But everyone that does it and wins ends up fighting for the belt. The people that don't do it might fight for the belt one day after fucking 20 wins or whatever, right?
After the prime is passed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But the guy that says, I want to fight for the belt, they say, look at this cocky bastard. And then he fights for the belt. Like George St. Pierre, you know?
Yep.
I'm not impressed by your performance. And do the make on his waist, you know? Like how he's got the belt around his waist. Like, give me the belt. And then as soon as he wins the belt, oh, I'm scared. He is the second best fighter in the world, and I will, like, I just must win. I must, like, oh, and then he's Mr. Like, I love him, but it's like, oh, he's Mr. Humble now. Yeah. See, that's what I realized. For human beings, man, like, can say, like, see, look, if I say this soundbite and then I have to walk away and people, that's all they hear. Yeah, I'm a humble, modest man that only cares about his family. And
doesn't put asses in seats, dude.
No, and walk away right now. You know what people will think of Rob Lisita? He's a humble, modest man that only cares about his family. Do you know what I mean? Like, people don't believe what you tell them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people believe what you tell them. You know, Manny Pacquiao says, yes, I'm humble. I love the Philippines. And then when they filming me in the gym, he's like, boom, I'm going to knock him out. I go, I said yes to all these claims because, when someone, before death penalty, before they get death sentence, their last meal, you give them any meal they want. That's what I've done with Floyd. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna murder him. Like everyone, like he's confident in the fact that he's gonna win. So, and then after everyone's like, like so humble. And then Floyd's there. I don't know. So like I said, racist because he's black and he's there going, 47-0. Hard work, dedication. And then after people are saying, look at this fucking bastard, he thinks he's awesome. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. He's supposed to be doing, but they should. They should do movies about, they should do episodes about Roger Mayweather because, man, when Floyd hits pads, Roger throws more punches than Floyd. Floyd just sticks his hands out and Roger's just there slapping away, slapping his shoulders, making him slip punches and shit, going over his head and then man. Roger works hard, man, and that's why Roger doesn't do pads like that with anyone else, because he's like, man, I'm tired, man. I'm still doing Floyd.
It's aerobics.
I'm tired, bro,
So Josh, does PTT have anything involved with you in your fights? I mean, when you go back, are you affiliated with Phuket Top Team, or you just come here to tune up?
I represented Lions Den and Top Team for the first fight, and then I'm yet to speak to Boyd about sponsorship, but it seems to be on the cards. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I represent Top Team. I'm probably the longest run fighter or sort of styles.
Yeah,
to be there, And
how long you been there for?
Open. Oh, 3 years back and forth, man. And I always stayed loyal to Top Team because it is my team. Boyd's my friend, and they treat me like family. And when I'm there in the gym, I try to help make an atmosphere that we are family. We go in the fights alone, but you can't do it alone. You can't become good alone. See, anyone can teach you any technique, but it's like the actual sparring,
the execution part,
execution makes you good. That's what makes you, steel sharpens steel, as they say, and all that stuff. But so we need to help each other. You know what I mean? And don't break your toys, and don't try to make dramas. It ain't the Ultimate Fighter or whatever. There ain't no dramas they're training, because that's my escape. You know what I mean?
The serenity needs to be there because the madness is all around.
Yeah,
right?
That's it. The guy that wants to punch you in the face and cause you physical harm, he probably cares, he gives you less hassles than anyone else in the world. But that's why it's a cool sport, and Top Team's a cool place, and it's, it has a lot of fighters there right now, good fighters, and
it's very much a featherweight gym now.
Who are some of the highlights for you training out of Phuket Top Team right now?
Right now, Thiago Tavares took the MMA drilling thing or whatever.
Thiago Tavares has been there
Born
for
Lee, I saw Born Lee. That's why I said I'm going to put Born Lee on. Born Lee is there. But, I mean, Jay-Z was there. There's a lot of fighters, man, a lot. From around the world. But yeah, Ian Whistle is my boy. And we'll see, they all become brothers. The ones that become brothers are more than the famous names. Do you know what I mean?
They're the ones that impact your life.
I wish that I could say every single one of them. I just, my mind is not there. But as far as fighting, we must be the most self-absorbed people around, because otherwise, if you're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you need to have.
You're not going to be the
you
best.
need to be somewhat
an alien level of confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
And with that,
and you need to sacrifice other things for yourself a lot of times.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's why. And I got 3 daughters, and I got a beautiful wife, and I got a family. So I'm a father too. And I.
It's a lot to juggle.
It's a lot to
juggle, man.
But see, I got a good wife that looks after my kids, but like a good mom does. But at the end of the day, no, my children is my reward. To have a wife that's there for me, to feed me and love me is a reward, and to be a professional mixed martial artist is a reward. I gotta, at the end of the day, we gotta do a job, and sometimes it's hard when you say, "Fuck, he's fighting my job." If it's my job, no one ever likes their job. So you end up saying, I hate
there's always
shit,
parts of our job that we don't like.
Yeah,
but you clearly like your jobs, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to realize, you got to do a job no matter what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, fighting, I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
Like in an easy state.
That's what
if
makes
I had
this so
to.
good. You don't have
You
to
know
think
what I mean?
about work, you know?
Yeah.
Because this isn't work. Like, going to spar isn't work. It's like...
Well, like you said,
I
you
used
do
to
it
pay for
regardless.
this shit.
You're doing it regardless.
But I would not. No, I would. But to be honest, like say, I'll let someone else do. But yeah, you know, if you sign a contract to be a prize fighter, then you fight for a prize, you know, and everyone's trying to get the biggest prize they can. And if you are the draw and you are the reason why people are watching it, you should say, yeah, I want the most money, you know, and because the promoters are making money. Because we know as fans, we're paying money. So it's going to someone, you know, we're paying money to watch it and all that, you know. But see, like, you know, we'll watch it either way, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, see, we would do it, but we wouldn't do it to the degree that we do it.
Oh, of course.
You know,
of course.
become like a...
No, I mean, you decide to kick it up those additional notches when it becomes worth your while. You know, if it's just for going home with your face all smashed to pieces and blood pouring out of your eye socket, that's not exactly worth it.
That's what we'll probably... See, I got messed up cauliflower ears, yeah?
Yeah, I was saying, dude, when I saw you today, I was like, that's the first time I noticed, man. I was like asking you if you actually have any nerve endings in your ear. I mean, yeah. And
if you look at my eyes, see, I've
dude,
had probably like 80 stitches.
Yep.
You know? But
that's not those little vanilla ice marks that used to make back in the day. Is that
cool? See, that's why I'm the White Tyson, because I got them naturally, you know?
Yeah, the vanilla
White Tyson. But yeah, but I mean, that'll probably happen come 22nd. But see, my opponent never went out of the first round. We'll see,
It's going to be fun.
I've never been TK, I've never been knocked out. If he's stand-up fighter, like, you know, I don't just take it to him, and it's going to be crazy, you know. And it's worth paying $10 to watch it online, and then if you know,
so One FC you can get it for $10 a pay-per-view, right?
Yeah. So it'd be worth it, you know. And it'd be worth it just to watch me, like.
I agree, dude.
Willing,
I think everybody's looking forward to it, you know?
You know, that's right. And that's what makes me feel good about Thailand too. Like, because when it's on, like, these places get packed out to watch me fight, you know? And I don't think about it like, a lot of people are looking at it like hoping I lose maybe, you know what I mean? And the weird reason is because I'm just like them. I'm here on the road, I'm training, I'm a normal dude. I got a family even.
You got your haters, you got your lovers.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, why is he there? Why is he the guy on the poster? I don't know, because fucking God gave me, you know, good chin, big fist, and fucking balls. You know? Balls to go for it, mate, you know? But yeah, I think we can, like, our team, you know, like, we're all hungry for success. And I see, like, I don't know, it just came to me, like, or someone said it, or that I see, like, a lot of future champions in our team. And if we keep it what it's going right now, you know, the guys that are there, you know.
Well, it's cool, I mean, because they got your presence in, you know, in One FC, they got Ian's in the UFC. I mean, that's great already that you're tuning into the big shows and you're hearing fighting out a Phuket top team, bam, you know, that adds a lot.
Guys know that if they're coming to Thailand and they want to do a training camp, like, it's no, I'm not dissing on the other ones. Like, see, if it's out of choice, like, fighters always, they go to Phuket top team for training camp. Like, they'll go to the Tiger because they offer them this and this and that and that. Do you know what I mean? They'll go to AK because they'll offer them this and that. I'm not taking the fighters that are there are cool guys and they're fighters or whatever. Like, you know, they're good dudes. I don't have problems with anyone. Like, they're all friends. We're all brothers in this game. But they all choose top team. Like, so that's credit to us. And they, like, you know, it makes me feel proud that you make your loved ones proud and your haters jealous. And I guess that's what Floyd's doing. You know what I mean? He's trying to make his haters, like, for instead to get inspired by what he's got, they get angry.
They get negative energy out of it.
They get angry. Man, just,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like,
winning.
it's weird, you know what I mean?
It's a different
like,
level of winning, man.
Like,
engineered to win, man.
Yeah.
As we said earlier.
Yeah, and it's hard, like, because some people's lives are just to troll people too, you know, so...
Yeah, we'll see how far they get, right?
Yeah, exactly. See, and as far as, like, we're not no Floyd Mayweathers and that, so we got to be active in social media and that.
Yep.
So we've got to see what is being said about us and stuff like that.
But the best thing, Rob, is that something is being said about you.
Yeah.
Indifference, that's the worst possible thing for somebody who's an entertainer. And, entertainment's part of what you guys do, and you're very aware of it. You both have entertaining styles.
We are fighters.
You both can talk. You both got stories. All that. It adds a lot. And doing stuff like this, doing podcasts where you can actually just voice that to people, it gives an entirely different insight into who you are.
There's a lot more. We all know each other.
Yep.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, listen, man. I think we could we could do this a while. I say we wrap up this segment, man. And before I leave, I'll try to get you guys in here. I'm going to be back, and we'll do round 2. Maybe we can get you, right before your fight, or I guess this is pretty much right before your fight.
Nah, man. I got ages, bro. I'm going to the Philippines, and the fight's this week.
It's 2 weeks.
Philippines.
Yeah, it's a month.
And then I fight 4 weeks after that. So 4 weeks from Friday. I got 4 weeks of training camp left. Man, I think I'm beast now. I'm planning to be.
Yeah, because like you said, you can get a lot done in 4 weeks.
Yeah, man, that's it. And my biggest opponent is my mind, man, and I will beat myself, and I will beat everyone else, mate, after that.
On that note, dude, Rob Lisita, thank you for coming in. Josh Major Payne.
Thank you.
This was the Trash Talk MMA podcast. I'm your host, Antoine Pelletier, with my guest, Rob Lisita, fighting for ONE FC, and Josh Payne taking over Brace for War in August. All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace.
I don't want to hear it.
Thanks for listening to the Trash Talk MMA podcast. Be sure to visit trashtalkmma.com.
On my face, behind my back, they talk trash.
And don't forget to follow Antoine on Twitter at Trash Talk MMA.
That's what you said.
Let us know you're listening. Use hashtag Trash Talk MMA.